It's 2 a.m. The room is quiet, but your brain is running a high-definition replay of a minor conversation from earlier today, analyzing every word you said and everything you should have said instead. Most of us justify this mental overdrive as being thorough. We tell ourselves that examining a situation from every possible angle is the only way to prepare for the future. However, this prolonged fixation actually locks the mind onto a single issue, making it impossible to focus on anything else. When this state of preoccupation becomes a chronic habit, research links the resulting mental strain to the development of depression, anxiety, and PTSD. The most immediate impact is on your sleep. Rumination keeps the brain in a high arousal state that makes it physically difficult to drift off, which then triggers a second wave of anxiety about how the resulting exhaustion will ruin the following day. To break this cycle, we have to identify the exact moment our internal architecture shifts from productive planning into a destructive, paralyzing loop. The difference between these two states is the direction of your energy. Problem-solving looks outward for a tangible resolution, while overthinking fixates inward on the discomfort of the problem itself. Consider an impending storm. An overthinking response focuses on the internal feeling of helplessness, wishing the clouds would go away, and replaying a monologue about how you won't be able to handle the damage. In contrast, a problem-solving response to that same storm ignores the internal what-ifs and focuses on external leverage. It secures sandbags, boards up windows, and buys supplies. This passive, repetitive replaying of negative outcomes is known as rumination. It is the engine of overthinking, consuming massive amounts of mental energy without ever generating a single actionable step. While problem-solving creates the momentum needed to move past a crisis, rumination traps you in a cycle that only amplifies your initial fear. This loop is powered by cognitive distortions, skewed patterns that hijack logic. First, black and white thinking categorizes events as complete success or total failure. Next, overgeneralizing turns one mistake into a permanent rule. Finally, catastrophizing scales a minor concern into an unrealistic worst-case scenario. These distortions lead to a habit of constant self-criticism over past decisions. By training your brain to see every past choice as a potential disaster, you erode your confidence in the present, making even mundane choices, like what to eat for dinner, feel as high stakes and stressful as a life-altering crisis. This systemic collapse of objective reasoning allows your threat detection system to override your logic, effectively paralyzing your ability to act. Stopping this spiral requires a counterintuitive shift. You have to stop the active, conscious attempt to solve the problem. Shifting your focus to a manual task, like gardening, engages what researchers call unconscious thought. By keeping your conscious mind busy with a physical activity, you allow your brain to process the problem independently in the background. This same mechanism is why sleeping on it is so effective. Disengaging from the issue entirely allows the subconscious mind to work through mental gridlock, often providing a solution the moment you wake up. Meditation functions as a tool to sharpen this focus. The objective is to notice when your mind begins to ruminate and gently anchor your attention back to a neutral point, like your breath, before the thoughts escalate. These brief, strategic distractions provide the mental reset required to halt the cascading momentum of an intrusive thought cycle. The core of your psychological defense is the realization that your thoughts are not always facts. Your brain can generate scenarios that are completely untruthful and unrealistic. You can dismantle a minute of thought by cross-examining it for objective evidence. When you find that a claim, like "I'm an idiot," is unsupported by fact, you can rewrite it into a productive, actionable goal, like enrolling in a communication class. Building long-term protection involves establishing clear personal boundaries and practicing self-compassion. This means forgiving yourself for past regrets that can no longer be changed. If these internal loops become impossible to break independently, a mental health professional can provide clinical coping strategies specifically designed to halt rumination. By identifying cognitive distortions and intercepting the loop with strategic action, you can separate your internal fears from objective facts and finally start moving forward.